Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in today. So I wanted to jump on here and talk about, oh, you can see my dresser in the back, just ignore it. I wanted to talk about something that happened over the weekend that was new and exciting for me. I went on a date for the first time in a very long time. And I will fill you guys in on my whole dating experience. Starting from like, I can't even tell you who the worst boyfriend is that I've had because they're all horrible in their own ways. Like, I had one that was a very abusive guy. Like, he never physically hurt me, but he was mentally, emotionally abusive. I had to get a restraining order against him. He was very controlling. I dated him. I also dated a guy that ended up cheating on me in the same room that I was in. So he cheated on me with another girl while I was asleep in the same room. I was completely passed out. And then that girl ended up, what's it called? Issuing charges against him for SA. And he ended up doing 6 years in prison. Or we can talk about the not my past boyfriend, but the one before. I wouldn't even, whatever, the one before, who ended up hiding a whole child from me for the first 3 years of our relationship, and then ended up doing meth and becoming a hoarder towards the end and just lying to everybody. Or we can talk about the most recent guy before this first date that I just had, which was last year. And he ended up being a gaslighter, a love bomber. He stole money from me. So yeah, so there's a lot that I gotta fill you guys in, and I promise you I will, because each one of these stories deserves its own story time. But I wanted to talk about the date that I went on this past weekend. So in my most recent video, I talked about vulnerability in dating and how that how that can affect you. So that conversation happened with my cousin. It happened after I had already decided to join Hinge and meet somebody or whatever, and I had already actually met this guy. So the importance of vulnerability still exists, because being vulnerable and wanting love or wanting a relationship, it can make you want to settle for something that you don't deserve, that normally if you were in the right headspace you wouldn't settle for. So anyway, so I met this guy off of Hinge. He was really, really nice. I decided to we exchanged numbers or whatever. And yeah, like, we texted for a whole week. And I'm talking about, like, the whole week we texted. Every day, the whole day, the night. And I mean, it was fun because we got to know each other on a lot of different levels. We both had the same kind of humor, which for me, humor is one of the having a sense of humor and being able to laugh, that to me is attractive. So finding somebody that has the same type of humor that I have is really nice. And yeah, and so we just vibed. Like, it was nice. And so he asked me out on a date, and we ended up going out on Sunday. It did not go good. Oh my god. It did not go good. So tell me why. Alright. I'm over here, like, dressed to the nines. Like, I look so freaking pretty. Like, I'm not Like, I did my makeup, like, all nice. I did, like, a smoky eye. I was gonna do a get ready with me, but the way that I have everything set up right now, I need, like an actual, like, vlogging stick and all that stuff so I can do that. So I'm gonna get that with my next paycheck. But, yeah, so, I mean, hair done, I had all my piercings in. I still have, like, my piercings in or whatever, but I, jewelry, everything, like, everything, even my clothes, like, everything was so nice. I found some, like, really flattering pants, because I'm trying to lose weight also. It's, so I'm still kind of what's it called, self-conscious about that. But yeah, so I show up and, he's, like, looking for parking or whatever, and I end up seeing him. Tell me why this dude shows up in flip-flops. And tell me why he shows up in, like, a shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. And it wasn't even, like, a nice shirt or shorts or whatever. Like, it was like if we were going to a date on the beach or something like that. Like, it was... So that was my first thing where I noticed, and I was like, oh my gosh, He did tell me that he was helping a friend prior to us meeting, but still, like, it's a first impression. If, at least shower, brush your teeth, have, like, some nice, clothes on. And it was also raining. It was like a rainy day or whatever, so he was literally the only person we went to this place called Westgate, which is here in Arizona. It's like where the Cardinal Stadium is. It's like around there. So we went there, we walked around, and yeah, like, I felt so uncomfortable because I was like, I'm over here dressed, like, really nice, and and I feel, like, overdressed. That's how I felt, and I knew that I shouldn't feel that way. And so yeah, so that was the first thing I noticed. So we walked around Westgate a little bit, and we ended up having dinner at this place called the Yard House. And yeah, no, everything was going really nice, until, like, I would get closer to him, and dude, tell me why his breath stunk. Like, and it didn't stink like, oh, I just forgot to brush my teeth. It stunk like, hey, I have, like, oral hygiene issues type of stink. It was bad. It was bad, and I feel so bad saying that, but I can't get over it, And on top of that, he was missing a front tooth. Like, okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, he lost it he broke his tooth, or he lost it in a mountain biking accident. So, okay. But I truly thought that maybe, like, it was, like, one of these, it wasn't, like, smacked out of this one, Or, it was, like, this one, and then this one's, like, chipped. And it's like when you smile, like, that's all you saw was the tooth missing. I thought maybe, like, maybe he had, like, a denture, because when he said that, he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm missing, because I on my profile, I put a voice message of things that I look for, and I was like, yeah, I was being sarcastic. I was like, yeah, just have all your teeth, a checking account, a car would be nice. Like, I was naming things like that. And he ended up telling me I am missing a front tooth. And I thought, okay, well, you're missing a tooth. Like, my mom's missing a front tooth, right? But she wears this little denture. And, and so I thought maybe that was the case. But no, it wasn't. This guy just goes around life missing his front tooth, which, if that works for you, that's great. But no, not for me. No, sir. And, yeah, so that was another thing. And I hate it because it makes me sound kind of shallow, but at the same time, when you add that to the oral hygiene, you know, of it just kind of compounds to like, okay, you don't care about your oral and dental hygiene. Like you don't care about taking care of this, about your mouth and everything. So that, and I've already dated somebody, the meth head. I remember he had like dental hygiene issues as well, and he would smoke like a chimney. And oh no, I can't. Like it makes me nauseous even thinking about it. And yeah, so I noticed that right off the bat as well, and I was like, freak. And then after dinner we went to the movie. We walked around a little bit. He held my hand. He didn't ask if he could hold my hand. He didn't ask if he can give me a kiss, but yes, girl, he gave me a kiss with his stink-ass breath. Yes, he did, and I'm too nice to say no. And I should have said no. He gave me a kiss on the cheek, and then he gave me a kiss on the lips. And I should have said no, but I didn't. And next time I will. But I expected to be asked. Can I hold your hand? Can I kiss you? Can I this? Can I that? And again, because we were vibing so well over text, it kind of had led up to this point of like, like we liked each other and we wanted to date and see how it would go. So yeah, so then after the movie, we got out. And I jokingly said, oh, do you want me to walk you to your car? Or do you want to walk me to mine? And he was like, oh, yeah, no, my car's over there so that was another thing. I was like, what kind of man would I don't want to be with a man that would, let me walk to my car alone at night after a date. Like, I don't want that. I want a man that makes me feel safe and secure, that wants to make sure that, like, I get to where I need to, like, wants me to text him. I want that kind of stuff. Like, that to me is attractive. That to me makes me feel safe. And I'm sticking to that, and so, yeah, so then the next day we texted and he was like, did you have a good time? And I did have a nice time. Like, he's a nice guy and he's funny, and we laughed and everything, and and I was like, yeah, I had a nice time, thank you. And then I told him, I was like, you know what, but I'm not really, like, I don't think I'm really ready for a relationship at this moment. And truthfully, I wanted to say I'm sorry. I kept wanting to say I'm sorry because I'm that person that has to overly explain and apologize and, like, fill in, like, make a sentence, like, make the main point of the sentence here, but fluff it up with all this other stuff so it doesn't, come off as harsh or whatever. And my therapist was like, no, you don't, like, one, you don't know him anything. Two, you're only in control of your actions, not how other people, one, perceive them, or two, but how other people, if they get their feelings hurt, that's not your responsibility. Like, your responsibility is to just be kind, and as long as you're being kind and delivering what you want to say with kindness, and that's all that you can do. And she's like, you don't have to apologize. Like, you don't have to apologize for feeling the way that you do. And so I ended up just telling him that, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just not really looking for, I'm not ready for a relationship. I didn't tell him I'm sorry. See, I did not say I'm sorry. Just, I'm not ready for a relationship at this moment, but thank you so much. And he was like, I was like, it was nice meeting you and everything. He was like, well, I'm glad that you got like a nice meal and a movie out of it. And then he said, but thanks for letting me know. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's not nice. I did text him that. I was like, that's not nice. Like, if that's the issue, like, I can send you my half of, you know, the meal and the movie. And he was like, no, it's fine. He's like, I would have preferred if you didn't, like, mislead me and all this other stuff. And, you know, I can argue that I was also misled. You know, I was also misled. I'm not talking about the tooth thing. I'm not talking about any of that. But, like, you know, you had told me that, for example, you were that kind of guy that, like, wants to make me feel safe and secure or whatever. But that kind of guy wouldn't let me walk to my car alone at night. That kind of guy wouldn't just hold my hand or kiss me or whatever. They would ask. They would respect me and honor me. And you know, and on top of that, like, you know, I thought you had nice breath. Let's be real. Like, you know, I'm surprised nobody has told you, and that's not my job to tell you because you and I are not friends. So yeah, so I was, you know, I said I understand, and, you know, my intention wasn't to lead you on or mislead you or anything like that. I really did have a nice time, and, you know, I enjoyed talking to you and getting to know you, but I just, you know, I'm not ready for a relationship. And then he said, okay, well, thanks for letting me know, and, you know, good luck to you. I hope you find what you're looking for. And I said, thanks, you too. And he said, you know, it's probably for the best because I don't even have all my stuff together anyways right now. And, you know, I feel bad, but it's not because of that. And I told my cousin, like, because this guy's going to nursing school. He doesn't work right now, but he interviewed for a job, like, all these other things. And my cousin was like, those to me are red flags. And I was like, interesting, because to me they weren't. And then the way that she told me, she's like, you know, she's like, maybe I'm old school or whatever, but I would want, if I want to feel safe and secure and all this other stuff from a man, I also want him, like, you know, going to nursing school isn't just, you know, something you can do on the weekends or overnight. Like, it's something that takes over your life, you know what I mean? And eventually you don't want to be a person that's making more than your guy and supporting him and everything. And I thought about it, and I know, like, one of my friends, like, that's exactly what she does. Like, her boyfriend has been going to nursing school for the last couple of years, and she's been holding down the fort, you know. And I didn't think about it like that until that was pointed out, and I was like, yeah, that's actually a great point. And then she's like, you know, call me whatever you want, blah blah blah, but that's just me. And I was like, no, that is actually a solid point. So it's like, it's also looking at these things that may not be red flags and kind of like thinking about it in the long term. Like, okay, if this were to go into a long-term situation, what would it look like? You know, he also doesn't live here. He lives in Yuma, which is like 3 hours away, you know? So do I really want to be in a long-distance relationship? So it was things like that also. And, you know, it goes back to the vulnerability thing, you know, where I was vulnerable and I just wanted to know what it felt like to be with somebody, you know. And had I stayed in that vulnerability and not been, like, you know, assertive or be like, you know, no, this isn't right for me, I would probably be stuck again in another 4 to 5 year relationship with somebody that doesn't respect me, doesn't honor me, doesn't meet those not qualifications, but doesn't meet those qualities that I'm looking for in a partner. Like, I'm not just looking for a boyfriend that I can, like, you know, just spend time with or whatever. Like, I want a partner. And I think I deserve 1000% to be picky and to be particular. I'm not saying, like, make $100,000 a year and have a Rolex and all. Like, I don't care about that kind of stuff. But that is true. Like, I do want somebody that has a career, that does make a decent living, that, because that's me too. You know, I don't have all my shit straight, but I know what I bring to the table, you know. So yeah, so long story short, I'm gonna take some time off of dating. I'm gonna go through therapy. I'm gonna lose my weight, you know, because also, like, I don't feel 100% like confident yet. So had he turned me down, had he said, oh, you know, I'm not ready to date or whatever, I would have automatically thought it was because of my weight, because that's happened to me before. Even though they've seen pictures of my body, like, on the website, when they see me in person, it's like, oh, I'm not, like. So, moral of the story. What is moral of the story? Moral of the story is, it's okay to date. It's okay to get out there. You know, see what's out there. You know, if you're dating with intention, then date with intention. You know, I went into this kind of just on a whim because I was vulnerable, and I just wanted to see what was out there, which, you know, now moving forward, the next time I do get on a dating website, it's going to be because I want to meet somebody and actually grow into a partnership. But yeah, moral of the story is, you know, just if you want to get out there and have fun and see what's out there, you know, do you, but just remain true to yourself, you know, stay in your lane, and remind yourself what it is that you're looking for. Like, it's okay to be flexible on some things, as long as those things don't harm you, you know, as long as those things aren't deal breakers for you. If it is a deal breaker for you, then don't settle for that, you know. We don't have to. And so yeah, so anyways, thanks for the story time. I hope this was fun. I had a lot of fun. It's nice to kind of get it off of my chest, you know, as well. But yeah, so next time, I'm trying to think, next time I'll probably tell you guys, there's honestly so many stories. I don't even know, like, what I want to tell, but I will tell them eventually, I promise. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope I see you in the next one. Peace.